Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're finally going to start composting some sponges. So these are sponges that I bought at the store that are supposed to be natural. I do have one. I want to show you the difference between them. I've been using them now for a month, and they've actually held up really well. So let's take a look at the sponges. I can go over what I'm going to do here, but I want you to see how well they've held up and compare them to the blue sponge that I use from 3M typically in the past. So I don't know if I'll switch, but this is a good comparison to just show you what you can buy that is natural. Okay, so here we are with our sponges. So these are the two from Twist, and this one has a loofah surface on the back and the sponge on the bottom. This one has a all-natural scrubber, it says. It's a hand sewn, along with the same type of sponge on the bottom. The sponges on these were phenomenal. They've held up really well. I've put them through the dishwasher almost every time that I've run it over the past month. And they've held up really well. They're still really spongy and work. They just as good as, they actually, they're still having a little bit more moisture in these still because I just rinsed them out just before we were going to put them in the bins here. So that's compared to, this is the sponge that I always used in the past. This is a 3M. I usually cut them in half. This sponge is already gone and it hasn't even been used for a month. Like, it's just been sitting upstairs next to these. And I have to say, I'm not impressed with the sponge on this one. I'm less impressed. It doesn't really hold soap very well. It seems to be very easy to squeeze it out. I mean, you could just squeeze it into nothing immediately, whereas these, I felt they need a little bit more pressure. Even though I know that the size difference makes a huge difference, but if I were to grab just this size, I just find that these just need a little bit more pressure to get them to squeeze and they don't collapse quite as quickly. Now, I didn't use the natural 3M sponge because, this top part is plastic. But I did do one. I want to do one compare here on all of these that might make a huge difference for some people. These two scrubbers are not abrasive enough. I mean, I can rub my hand on them and they don't grab anything. This one, you can hear it. It's grabbing. A little bit there, none there almost. This one really grabs. I mean, this rough textured surface on this is just so much better than these two. This one, it's pretty close to this, but not nearly as good still. That would probably have me keep one of these sponges or something like it for when I need to scour pots and pans. For any sponge-related activities, I might buy, and I couldn't find them for some reason. I know I had them before. I just had the sponge part for this, and I might keep that and then use some sort of scouring pad maybe, just the top portion of this to actually clean if I really need to deep clean something. And that way I can use these natural sponges more often. At least that's my opinion. I feel that these are just not textured enough, even though they're all natural. I mean, there's a huge difference. I mean, you can tell. You can feel it. You can just feel it grabbing your nails. I mean, you can hear the difference there as far as the grabbing texture of these. So, least amount of grab to most. Now, I will say, I know that these actually they worked really well for cleaning though, I will say. I mean, they worked for a lot of stuff. It was only when there was something that was really hard stuck on where I needed to move to this pad maybe to get it off. So overall, they worked really well. Now, as far as composting, I'm going to try these two. I'm going to try cutting off. This one has not been used, but I'm going to try cutting off this part right here that's, on the top that's not only 50% natural and the rest of it's not. Actually, it looks like it might peel off here, but we're going to cut it off just to make sure. And I'm not going to compost this one at all. I'm not going to put something that could be, oil based or something like that, or have some sort of, I think this is supposed to have some sort of microbial stuff on it to, or antimicrobial stuff to make it where things don't grow on here, which is great. But also it says on the package, do not use in fish tanks. I'm going to take that to say do not use in worm bins as well. Maybe in a compost pile that would break down with the heat, but I would not throw these in your compost bin. I could just see it just completely destroying stuff in there, or taking a really long time to break down, as that antimicrobial stuff would just stay on there for a while. So we are going to try these three, and we're going to do something special with them. So I'm going to cut this and we'll come right back. All right, so here we go. We are at a bin that I have. This is a very large bin. It's actually a 27-gallon tote. I have a towel on top here, and almost everything here has been eaten out of this, I think. Not sure what this is right here, but we'll just throw that off to the side. Looks like it's apple, I think. So what I'm going to do in here as you can tell, there's lots of worms in here. It's very, very composted already. This is actually ready for harvest, but I thought this would be a good test of this material here. So I have my 3 sponges. I have the piece here. We're going to put that right here. I have the second one here that has the whatever finish this is. I'm not sure what kind of scrubber this is. And then this one here has a loofah scrubber. So we're going to put these in here. I can't move this bin, so they're always going to be right here. Now, I didn't want to just throw them in here with. So what I have here is I have some food to kind of pile on top of them. So this is a mixture of, or I should say, ground up watermelon rinds. So I'm just going to kind of layer these on here, and they're a little bit frozen right now, but they're going to thaw out, I'm sure, very quickly. And this is going to give them something to eat on and hopefully get the microbe growth growing in these. That way we can see how quickly they break down with this. Because normally you don't just throw something in a bin on top and hope it breaks down. But I don't want to have it too deep in there where it's going to take forever. So there we go. That's on there. This will, a little bit more on here. Let's put some more on there. This will hopefully lure all the worms in, and they'll start breaking this stuff down. And we'll see how well these break down in a bin. And we'll see also the big thing that I'm really curious about. The sponges should have no problem breaking down. The scrubbers, though, is the question. So this is day 0. I'm going to label it as such, and we'll come back in about a week, and we'll see how things are going in here. Let me just clear off my gloves here. We're going to cover this right back up with a towel. I'm not going to actually put anything else on top, just this towel here. Clean my gloves off on here a little bit. And that's how this is going to be. So we're just going to have the towel on top, nothing else. No, paper or anything like that. It's just going to be the towel, and this is already a very well composted bin, so the worm should really be trying to dig in here and get into this. So we'll see how well this goes, and I'll keep you updated as it progresses. Thank you.